If you feel like you can never keep up with your habits and you're starting habits, you're getting excited about it, and then you kind of fall off, you feel guilty, you stop doing them, eventually get remotivated, start again, and recycle through that process over and over again, and you're tired, I have found a solution that I tested out for the past 12 months, and it has completely changed how I view my goals and my productivity. It allows me to still stay on track and be consistent, but at the same time be creative and flexible. I have written down on my notes app pretty much everything I do on a monthly and weekly basis to help me stay on track. If you've heard of the habit stacking method, I've kind of taken that and I've put a little twist on it. I'll put the definition here, but pretty much habit stacking is when you take an existing habit and add another thing to it, so that way it's easier for your brain to be like, okay, I already do this, may as well just do this one more thing. The difference between that type of habit stacking and this type of habit stacking is I'm talking about a literal physical stack, a noun, habit stacking. Picking a time of day, like say your morning routine, picking a physical spot in your house where you're doing these habits that you want to sit down and do, and the night before literally putting a physical stack of all of the materials that you will need to complete those tasks, and making sure that they're actually there and ready, and it's the first thing that you see when you wake up and you go into that space. I wanted to quickly talk about the concept of not having enough time to do it perfectly, because that in itself is probably holding you back the most, and tonight was a perfect example of that. If you have it in your head that your routine needs to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you do this specific thing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's great, but you have to be open to that being able to change, and this is where the stacking method comes to play. I keep a list together of the different workouts that I like to do. In theory, these should range from different effort levels as well, especially as a female. If you're expecting your body to work at the same level and your mind to also work at the same level, that's just not how our bodies work. So sometimes you have to put away the ego to be like, I said I was going to do this thing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, your plans are changing, and that's okay. And I'm talking to myself because I was supposed to do weight training today, and then as the day has gone on, I've just started to get a little bit crampy, and my period is coming. I just don't have as much energy. The first thing that I always feel in these moments is guilt. Instead of being really hard on myself and being like, oh well, you didn't do what you were supposed to do today, I still met my actual goal, which is to get movement in every day. So I'm taking that as a win. This is something that's very hard for me, so I may be talking I know my stuff, but this is extremely hard for me, and I still have that little voice in my head that's like, but you didn't really do what you were supposed to do. I have to just choose to understand that that voice is not valid. That version of me is not who's running the show. So bottom line, make your list of workout activities that are going to work for you. Make a plan, make a schedule, but just be open to that schedule changing, and also be prepared for you to change your mind and be prepared with alternative options, because a lot of the times you fail because you can't do that thing that you set out to do, and then you're like, well, if I can't do that, I'm not going to do anything, which is obviously not the best case scenarios. Very quick side note, I got this little lip combo for Christmas, homemade honey lip scrub and this banana bread bee balm. Oh my gosh, it literally comes with a little honey dipper to apply it. Are you kidding me? Okay, but how am I supposed to actually plan out my week still? Is it all just gonna be these stacks around the house? No. You are going to get some type of planner that you like. And I feel like the key to this that has really made my success is having an undated planner that has a lot of organization, or having like a completely blank bullet journal that you're just adding your own pages into. It's really common for your needs to change week to week. So sometimes you want to be more creative, use your bullet journal and make a little spread. So your weeks can be super creative and fun like this one, or they can be super minimal like this one, whatever you want. And Pinterest is your best friend in this case, but a lot of weeks when I'm using my bullet journal, I'm like literally just writing Monday through Saturday. I'm just writing down the days of the week and like quickly listing off the things that I have to do that week. But the main thing that I definitely don't skip out on is the habit tracker. This is where you're gonna put all of those things in your stacking method that you want to achieve. So one thing right now that I'm really focusing on is my like stress relief and wellness. So I'll put the more general term on my habit tracker, like morning wellness habits. Another thing I love about the Undated planners are you don't feel like if you don't use it that you've like wasted the planner, because that's something that completely sets me back as a perfectionist. Is if I mess up, it's like I may as well just have never even tried. So the Undated planner helps me be like, well, it literally doesn't matter because every single weekly layout is exactly the same, so you can't mess it up. My gym was absolutely freezing, so we have moved into the bedroom with the blankets on. We're getting cozy. So imagine that it is the first of the month or the last few days of the month. This is exactly what I do. I get on my computer and I open a tab in Canva and on Pinterest. If you've never made a vision board before, especially a short-term one, because we're only focusing on 1 month ahead, 4 weeks, that's it. So you're not making a vision board for the entire year. The benefit of this is that you're not putting so much pressure on yourself to plan out the entire year. Like, it's great to have long-term goals, but this video is for someone that wants to simplify the process. Next, we are discussing probably the most important part, which is the monthly vision board. And before you're like, Brittany, I don't know how to make a vision board, I'm going to show you exactly what to put in it, and it should not take you more than 20 minutes of your time, okay? I'm going to show you some examples of my vision board from the past year. You're using a mixture of Pinterest and your own photos if you have them to create this board. So you're going to sit down and you're going to think about your haves and your wants for just the next 4 weeks, just the next month. What I usually start with is I go through my Google Calendar and I figure out what's going on that month. Do I have any plans with my friends? Do I have any specific dinner plans? Basically like anything exciting, like if I have like concert that month or whatever you see in your calendar that could be a physical photo that you could put in to represent that thing. That's what I would start with, the things that you know are going to happen that month. As an example, in this vision board for December, if you can see over here on the left, I put these like lip gloss keychains, and if you watched my Girls Miss video, you saw that I hosted for Christmas with some of my friends, and I hosted this little party, so I knew that we were going to be making that craft. I actually didn't even remember that I put this on my vision board, but the very bottom left corner I put like DIY candles, and I actually did make candles and I didn't even know that I put that on my vision board, so go me for that. I also really wanted to start scrapbooking, so one thing I did was I set up a day with my friends and we literally just sat there and scrapbooked together and junk journaled while we watched the Sabrina Carpenter Christmas specials. I also like to put like any certain books that I'm reading that month on here, so sometimes I'll do that. I just started Gilmore Girls for the first time, which is, I know, criminal behavior. I put like a photo of that to show that I was starting that show. I've also been trying this new skincare routine, so I put this picture of Hailey Bieber because I feel like she has ultimate skin goals. I just pulled up my November one as another example. The second thing I do is I incorporate some quotes from Pinterest that have to do with like something I'm trying to achieve that month. I just feel like it's nice to find something on Pinterest that you kind of are relating to and you can put in here. But overall, this vision board should be different habits that you either are incorporating, like you already have been incorporating, or you want to incorporate for the next month ahead, any goals for that month, and you want to find a specific photo that resonates with you in some way on Pinterest or from your own photos of you actually doing that thing. It doesn't have to be pretty. I really enjoy creating these little boards, so I feel like I spend a little bit more time on them than is necessary, but I actually like really enjoy the process. Also, just including pictures that you think are pretty that are on your Pinterest homepage that, you know, bring the vibes, bring the whole thing together. This is going to ultimately be your laptop, iPad, phone background for the next month. So make sure it's something that you would want to actually look at. This is mine from October, and I just like love this one. But, you know, I put Sabrina and Gracie and Role Model on there because I went to a ton of concerts in October. I put like all the cozy vibes, a lot of like outfit and hair inspiration. I feel like over the course of time I add more photos to them, but I just went back a few months to like summertime, and it's a lot more simplified version of that. If you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna sit there and find that many photos, maybe do something more this style. And the point of this is that you're going to be looking at this on all of your devices. If you have a printer and you want to print it out and like stick it on the wall, you can do that too. But I honestly do not even like consciously reference this throughout the month. You're setting intentions as you're doing this, so it's like a subconscious thing, and then throughout the month you're seeing it all the time on your phone, on your computer, like you're seeing it without actually knowing that you're seeing it. The point of it is to create like a vibe and a feeling for the month ahead, and let that be what you're focusing on that month. You don't need to focus on what's happening outside of that month. Creating like a feeling overall that you want to harness that month is kind of the overall goal of it. And on the days when I do this vision board, I'll usually just jot down a few ideas about how the previous month was, what I liked, maybe what I didn't like, or what I want to try, and that usually like gets the juices flowing to start this vision board process. Doing this the past year has helped me so much focus on consistency and flexibility, and knowing that those two things can coexist. You can have like a guiding main goal, but you can get there in 100 different ways. I feel like before this year I was very much like, if I don't do XYZ in this specific way and have it very routine based and regimented almost, that it wasn't successful if I didn't do it that way. This year has really taught me that you can meet your goals in so many different ways, and it doesn't have to be this like harsh, rigid thing. It can actually be like more fun and creative and flexible. It takes off a lot of the expectations as well of you having to meet all of these yearly goals and be thinking about them. It's already, you know, April, and I said I was going to do this by the end of the year, but instead you're narrowing down that time frame and only focusing on the things that you truly feel like you can accomplish that month and that you want to be focusing your energy toward that month. So I think it's like a really positive way to look at goals. It's also helped me give, I don't know if the right word is like autonomy, but I feel like it gave me a lot of autonomy over my own goals and my own well-being, because I know that I've sat down with myself and made this promise to myself. I'm gonna check in every week, every day, just like with the little journaling methods, and I've set myself up for success. And I feel like that's the best thing you can do, is like at least set yourself up at the beginning of the month to be successful, and give yourself the tools that you need, but also the grace. Your plans may change throughout the month, and you know that you've given yourself a variety of things to meet those goals depending on your energy level, general motivation, crankiness level, whatever it may be. You know that you're going to be successful no matter what, because you've covered all the bases, I guess. I hope this system works for you guys, a combination of habit stacking physically and monthly intention setting or journaling. So I'm hoping it helps you as much as that has helped me. I'm going to continue to do this throughout 2025. I'm not going to sit down and worry myself about the whole entire year ahead. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, focus on January, not make a huge deal out of it. I hope if you're also someone that feels super overwhelmed with the New Year's coming, I totally get you. I've totally been there. Some days I'm still there, but I feel like this has really helped. Best of luck in the next year. I'm sending you guys all so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.